UK man becomes second person cured of HIV. A man in London appears to be the second person ever cured of HIV, his doctors said. The man whose case was first announced a year ago has now been HIV-free for 30 months without the need for antiviral medications, according to a new report published Tuesday, March 10, in the journal The Lancet HIV. Previously known only as the London patient, the man revealed his identity on Monday, March 9. He is Adam Castillo, a 40-year-old who was first diagnosed with HIV in 2003, according to the New York Times. Last year, researchers reported that Castillo had experienced long-term remission from the virus after undergoing a special bone marrow transplant. At that time, Castillo had been HIV-free for 18 months. Now, 12 months later, his doctors are more sure that his case does indeed represent a cure. We propose that these results represent the second ever case of a patient to be cured of HIV, study lead author Ravindra Kumar Gupta, a professor of clinical microbiology at the University of Cambridge, said in a statement. The first patient to be cured of HIV, Timothy Brown, also known as the Berlin patient, received a similar bone marrow transplant in 2007 and has been HIV-free for more than a decade. In the cases of both Castillo and Brown, stem cells used for their transplants came from a donor who had a relatively rare genetic mutation that confers resistance to HIV. However, the researchers stressed that such a bone marrow transplant would not work as a standard therapy for all patients with HIV. Such transplants are risky, and both Castillo and Brown needed the transplants to treat cancer, rather than for HIV. In the new report, doctors found no active viral infection in Castillo's body. However, they did find remnants of HIV's DNA in some cells. But the authors said these traces of DNA can be thought of as fossils, because they are unlikely to allow the virus to replicate. Such remnants were also found in Brown's case. Castillo's cure means the first one in the Berlin patient wasn't an anomaly or a fluke, Gupta said. Castillo himself said that the experience had prompted him to come forward and identify himself in order to help spread awareness of HIV. This is a unique position to be in, a unique and very humbling position, he told the New York Times. Sharon Lewin, an infectious disease expert at the University of Melbourne and member of the International AIDS Society, said Castillo's case was exciting. But we need to also place it in context. Curing people of HIV via a bone marrow transplant is just not a viable option on any kind of scale, she said. We need to constantly reiterate the importance of prevention, early testing and treatment adherence as the pillars of the current global response to HIV/AIDS.